Good day, everyone. I have a word of hope today that I believe will give us some strength and courage as we together go through the days that we're in. I'm here at my kitchen table, and I invite us to imagine that we're at your kitchen table, simply having a conversation with one another of what it means to live faithfully following Jesus in the days that we're in. Here's a question I think we're going to be asking in the upcoming days. What's possible now? As local, state, and national leaders in all areas of our culture try to decide what, when, and how to open things back up, we'll be asking, what's possible now? I know that my wife and I are asking the question, when is it going to be possible for us to be with our kids and grandkids again? And we certainly pray for leaders in all areas that they be guided by God's wisdom in making those decisions. What's possible now? Pastor Mike and I are going to be preaching a sermon series starting this Sunday, wrestling with that question in light of the experience of the apostles after Jesus rose from the dead and ascended into heaven. Surely they were asking, what's possible now? But we also want to reflect on it in light of the resurrection that we're going to be going through as things open back up. Not this month, maybe next month, a month after that, maybe it'll be months, but it'll happen. And we'll be asking, what's possible now? I want to invite us to answer that question with some intentionality. Do we simply want to go back to the way we were living before? Have we learned anything from this pause that we've been given? Are there changes we'd like to make in our lives or the lives of our families, of our church? I want to invite us not to simply rapidly go back and put everything back in our life that we had before, but to think deeply, what is it that I want to put back in my life? And what do I not want to put back in my life? I'm reminded of a similar time when Jesus did this. Early in his ministry, he had his first great day of ministry. He healed people and he taught, and a great crowd of people where he was at, in the village he was at the time, gathered around him. And it went throughout the day and into the evening. Mark chapter 1 reports that very early the next day, before it was light, Jesus got up and went off to a solitary place to pray. When the disciples woke up, they went and found Jesus, and they said excitedly, I imagine, everyone is looking for you. The subtitles being, let's go back to what we were experiencing yesterday. That was fantastic. But Jesus said, no. We're going to go on to other villages to preach, because that's why I came. He had had a reset in his alone time with the Father so that he knew what his next step should be. Can we do the same? As we will experience a resurrection of sorts as things open back up, can we intentionally decide what it is that we're going to add back into our life and not add back into our life? So I invite you to do this. In the next few days, get a time alone. Maybe you have to get up early to do that, but get a time alone, get a piece of paper, and begin by writing down the things that you've experienced during these social distancing restrictions that you've enjoyed, that have been a blessing to you or your family. Write them down. And then prayerfully ask God, what changes should you make permanently in your life? Now, I'm going to have some suggestions for us to think about in the days to come, but I want it to begin with simply you and God in prayer, you listening to His Spirit, and deciding what are some changes that this pause we've been given have inspired. And I hope that that will give you encouragement as we begin to open things back up. May you find strength in that today, dear ones.